Hey everybody, so we're starting the video today in the truck, which is a nice alternative to being outside when it's about to rain. But what we're going to be doing is installing another Christmas gift that was built around the Tundra, and I'm very excited. It is the center console wireless charging pad. So it goes in place right where the pad is, right there where I have those napkins. And it just plugs into the power that's already routed into the center console for your 12-volt plug. It allows you to wirelessly charge your phone if you have a newer phone. So I'm really excited to get that installed, and it's pretty simple from what I've seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my tools and get this cover popped off so we can access the bracket. All right, so the first step is we're gonna wanna unplug the negative terminal of the battery so that it turns off the power to the whole truck so you don't short anything. So just take your 10mm socket, if you can find it, because you know that one's the hard one to find. Just loosen that. Loosen it a little bit more. Just go ahead and lift that off and tuck it away. And if you see any corrosion, try to clean that off if you have a battery terminal cleaner. And now we'll jump into the cab to get the install going. All right, so we had to go back to the battery and plug it back in and scoot the seats up, as you can see, because that gives you more room. And then while I was doing that, my wife had better access and was able to pop the front up first using a little pry tool that we use from our remote starter. And then you should just be able to pull it out of the clips. Feels like you're breaking it. Pull it out like that. There's clips in the bottom. And then you have your plug-in for your cigarette lighter right there. And you just pull that out. So you leave that out. And then our next step is to remove these 8 bolts, because this is the panel that holds the front of the console down. So you want to lift this up to relieve tension. Learn that from Rob Motive. And then we undo these 8 screws and this whole piece just comes right out. So we're going to go ahead and grab our drill and do that. All right, so you want to make sure you put some towels or something down in the air vents so that if you pull out one of these bolts and you miss it, it doesn't go down into your air duct, because that would be bad. So we got some little car wash towels, and then I got a little 5/16 nut driver that I got out of my Makita kit that I got for Christmas. Woohoo! Mixing brands. I know it's a heresy, but you do what you got to do. So we're gonna take these out, and if you take these out, well, I was gonna say, if this is closed and you take these out first, it might flip up and hit you. So just be careful. I'm gonna leave the middle one till last.
And then make sure to hang on to your console.
Hang on to your console and take this one off. The whole piece just comes right out and you take it over to your workstation. All right, so the first step, now that we have it inside, is to remove the 2 screws out of here to remove the latch. They're just long Phillips head screws. So we did that, and now we have to remove the 10-ish screws all around here holding down the back cover. And they're really tiny, so set them down on a cloth or something where they won't roll away.
And there are 5 along the back row. Back here. So I'm gonna take those off and pop this out.
Oh, there's 2 more right here underneath the latch. All right. So now that that's out of the way, we get to take out these silver screws along here. Actually, these hold on the bracket. We may need to remove those though. We're going to take out these 6 down in here, and we'll be able to put in our new electronic piece, our new charger. All right, so with that out of the way, we can put in our new wireless charger. All right, so now that we have that pulled out, we're gonna put in the actual wireless charger, which is exactly the same size, but it is missing the little badge. Mine says SR5. Yours may say something cooler if you're fancier than me. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, and you wanna make sure you keep your upholstery kind of tucked down. This one was good, but I've noticed on my console this piece had already been coming up, so I'm going to try to tuck that down as I push this in. I don't know that it will contact that point. So, and then something else to note is you're not going to put a screw in these tall points that go over here. You're just putting screws in these short posts down here. So go ahead and kind of rest that in there. Yeah, see, it doesn't contact there, but it contacts there. So I'm gonna fold this in. That goes there, that's there. And everything is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these six screws back in, the silver ones. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Putting them in kind of lightly. Gonna check, make sure it looks okay. Got 2 in there. You can see it looks nice and clean. I'm gonna put the other ones in, and gosh, that looks good. I'm super pumped. That looks awesome. Okay, all right. So now that all of those are cracked, we can keep going. Looks really nice though, really clean. Doesn't look any different than the original looked, except cooler. So let's get into the wiring, the exciting part now. All right, so I kind of flipped the script on you here, but the next step is to remove this screw right here on the back left bracket. So I'll show you that. All right, so we have that removed, and that allows us room for this wire winding piece or wire piece to hold the wiring out of the way so it doesn't get affected by the hinge there. So you see that kind of fits over where the screw is and that nub there. And then this piece, you take off the adhesive and it allows it to stick to the metal bracket. And I'll put that on there. But what I've done is I've taken the wire that comes in its coil, put it in here, follow the kind of the natural bend of the wiring. And then as this bends up, you can see there's a gap down in there. So I've just run the wire out through that, and that allows it not to hit as it comes down. So run the wiring in there, and then we'll put this piece on. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so we have the wire pushed through it as tight as we can. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up, and then get that as close to the appropriate angle as we can. Make sure your screw will fit here. And you can zoom in here and see how it sets and the wires behind that. So we'll just squish it all back there. and go ahead and put our screw in, and that'll keep the wire from coming in contact with the hinge down here. So let me put that screw back in. Seems weird that has an adhesive portion, but there's nothing really for it to stick to, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. I'm gonna undo this just a hair. Slide it forward so maybe it has more to stick to. So just make sure that that's in place and it'll keep the wire out of your way. All right, so you want to put a wire tie both in front and behind the screw. Just keep everything secure. I'm not going to put it on there. Well, I'm going to put it on there fairly tight. I'll aim that down so it doesn't get in the way. And these wire ties are provided, or zip ties as normal people call them. So put that up there. All right, so you want a before and after, and we'll come back and cut that. And then you also want one right around here, I think. All right, so we have the zip ties on, and I got a pair of side cutters and cut off the zip ties. So it's ready to have the original cover put back on. And this just goes on just like before. Sits in there real nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and put back in the 1,000 little screws that we had, and then we will put the 2 little screws up here, and then the bigger ones that hold the latch on up at the front, and then we'll be ready to put it back in the truck. So I'll see you back in the truck. All right, so now that we have it back in the truck, we're just gonna put our bolts back in and make sure you got this wire kind of coming down out of the way. Go ahead and put all these in, and then we'll get the wire installed. All right, so here's your wiring harness. This piece right here matches up with the piece that we just installed from the wireless charger. So we go ahead and plug this in. All right, and then we're gonna zip tie that right here to the center beam. And then you're gonna wanna follow the factory wiring just to make sure everything stays out of the way. So this piece with the foam padded end will plug into your original DC power plug. So we want to make sure that gets in properly. All right, so my wife got this pushed in. I wasn't strong enough. So then you take the new white part, the bigger end, fits accordingly, and you snap that back on. And now we're gonna put the zip tie around here. It's probably good to do before you tighten everything down. There we go. I'll leave it kind of loose just so it's up out of the way. And then once this is up, this will be here. So I'm gonna zip tie this down to here. All right, and then we'll get some side cutters and cut those off, and this will be ready just to pop back up. But don't forget, take out your towels or else you won't have any air conditioning. All right, we're gonna get this cut off and snap it back in and make sure it works. All right, so we're starting it up. We got the battery plugged back in. We're gonna start it, and then you have to press the button on the charger to make sure it works. I've had that happen before when I took the battery off my wife's Toyota RAV4. Just gotta do it a couple times. All right, so let's see. It's rather unfortunate. Alright, we'll see what's going on and get back at you. Alright, so it didn't work the first time. What was wrong is the two prongs that go together, the old prong for the DC plug and the new part covered in foam, the prong inside the new wiring harness was a little bit bent upwards, so it didn't align with the plug. So I just stuck a screwdriver in there, bent it down a little bit, went together perfectly. So now look at the wireless charger. Press this button, it comes on. Lay your phone in there, a beautiful woman shows up, and she happens to be your wife. So that's super lucky, and the phone is charging. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to add this to your truck, it's honestly a welcome addition. You may have to get a different phone case because mine's too thick, but I'm very thankful to have it and super appreciative of my wife to give that to me. And if you guys want to buy it, you can get it off Sparks Parts or anywhere else. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I'll see you guys again in the truck. Just kidding. We're not going to have like a slogan. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.